All right, so I think we'll go ahead and get started. Jules, are you on with me?
I sure am. Good morning, Sadie.
Good morning. So as we have a couple more people filtering in, which is awesome, I just thought we'd get started with a little bit of introduction and housekeeping. So I am Sadie Werflein. I am the community manager here at Mortarr.
And I am Juliana Argis. I'm the social strategist here at Mortarr, and I will be hanging out with everyone in the chat section and the Q&A panel today. So feel free to leave any of your questions or your thoughts in there, and we will try and get to them during the presentation and then after as well.
Yeah, fantastic. So thank you everybody for jumping on, for joining us today. We're excited to be talking with you. We know this is just a really difficult and strange time for everybody everywhere. And for many of you like us, we are very blessed to still be working, and obviously it looks very different now than it did just a few weeks ago, and that it will in the future. But we know everybody's really going through a lot right now, and we thank you for taking time out of your day to just spend with us and talk about Mortarr. And really this webinar is something that we have designed to just talk with you about, just to explain what Mortarr is and how to use it. It's really, our content is going to be targeted to any end user, anybody who could be using Mortarr. And as we go through the presentation, we'll just make sure to highlight some of the fabulous ways that Mortarr can kind of help fill your void, some of the voids that you're experiencing or the gaps that you're experiencing as you are, many of you are, I'm assuming, working remote or from a different location than normal. But the great news is Mortarr is always here. Nothing's changed on our platform, and our team is, everybody is working remote, but we're all able to completely serve you and answer any of your questions and support you. So we're happy to just talk through how that looks. Just a few housekeeping items. I've mentioned this if you were on already, you might have heard this, but everybody's line is muted and your video is turned off. So if you are like me when I jump on a Zoom meeting, and many of you maybe are new to jumping on Zoom meetings within the last few weeks, but the first thing I want to do is figure out if my video is going or not. So we cannot see you. I'm going to share, I'll continue to share screen through the webinar, but we're not going to do any video. And then Jules mentioned this, our Q&A feature is live and our chat feature is live. So she's going to be keeping an eye on that as we go through. And so if you have any questions or comments that you want to share, please feel free to do so through the chat or the Q&A. And we'll try to address them as we run through the presentation. And then we've also just reserved a few minutes at the end to answer questions that might have come through. Jules, anything you want to add?
I don't think so. If you guys want, feel free to take down our information that's on this screen. You've probably all heard from Sadie or myself via emails or on social, but you can reach out to us via email on we've got a contact us button on the Mortarr website, or feel free to message us on any of our social platforms as well. We're always there to help.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, please take down these email addresses if you don't already have them in your contacts, and we're happy to answer any questions offline as well. So I'm gonna go weird. Sorry, I accidentally muted myself as I was trying to advance my slide. So I was just going to say this is a little weird. Jules and I have done this webinar together a couple times, and usually we're in the same room. So that is not the case today. So we're not able to read one another's physical cues. So please bear with us. Thanks everybody for your patience. I'm sure we're not the only ones out there that are tend to run into technical difficulties from time to time. But we'll try to work through that together, just not physically together. So.
The proper social distance. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so getting started, I think in order to introduce Mortarr and explain what Mortarr, how to use Mortarr, I think it's always most important to start with where the concept came from and how Mortarr was thought up essentially, or what the reasoning behind it was. So Mortarr was actually created based on the need that was identified by our co-founders as they were working within the commercial construction and design industries. So they were really finding themselves as they were working in the industry in need of some resources. There were some great resources out there for finding inspiration, finding ideas. There were some really great resources out there for connecting with people within the industry, whether it was other professionals or manufacturers within the industry, subcontractors, things of that nature, customers, clients. But what they were finding is they didn't have one place to put all of this together. And so this is really where the idea of Mortarr was started. And so this little comment or this slide tells a true story. This really truly did happen to one of our co-founders, really did break an ankle while lugging heavy samples to a meeting. So this is where their experience had led them to the development of Mortarr. So Mortarr is one platform, one place where everybody within the commercial construction and design industry can come together. And it could be whether you work within that industry, as maybe you are a professional providing services, you work for a firm that, you know, does architecture, design, contracting, subcontracting. Maybe you are on the product side of it. Maybe you work for a product manufacturer. We refer to them as brands. And maybe you're really on the consumer side, whether that is that you are a developer, business owner who has a project that you're working on or you will be working on. Maybe you work more in the public sector, you're in charge of facilities and you're constantly having projects. Whatever your role is, no matter how big or small, Mortarr is for you. So just this one place for everybody to come together. So what we're offering with Mortarr is really one resource, one platform where all of those professionals within the industry and consumers within the industry can do everything from find ideas and inspiration to actually finding the companies that are responsible for those great things that they see on the site. So you can connect directly with the companies that manufacture those specific products that you're finding, that provide the services that you're able to locate on Mortarr. So if you're looking for a design firm, you're looking for, like I said, a subcontractor, whatever it might be, you can find their work, you can look at the kind of work that they do on Mortarr, and then you can actually connect directly with them and learn more about the projects that they've done through our platform.
Yeah, I think, Sadie, Mortarr really delivers on all of those things in the sense that we created essentially a virtual trade show that is available at any time from any device. And unfortunately, we all know that arena has been pretty disrupted at this point with our current situation. And so Mortarr offers a solution that really bridges that gap for both the individual that might have been walking those hallways as well as the companies that would have been showcasing there.
Exactly. Yep. So we have always said that, you know, we're a trade show 24/7. So yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of cancellations and hopefully rescheduling for many of these great shows. And we're part of that trade show circuit as well. We love being there, connecting with that audience, connecting with the people that are there. But right now, while that's not happening, and then even once those shows resume and our normal way of life does resume, Mortarr is always here. So we're your trade show anytime you need it. And available. The exhibitors are on Mortarr when you need them and available 24/7 through the click of a mouse. So I accidentally stopped my share for a moment. Jules, can you see my my screen with Mortarr pulled up?
Yes. Yep. Everything looks great, Sadie.
Great. So hopefully everybody else can too. So apologies for my blip there. Yeah, so I think from there, we'll just go ahead and jump right into the site and start walking through what we're doing on Mortarr and what we have to offer. So I've actually just landed right here on our homepage. And the first thing that we hope you notice when you arrive at Mortarr, before anything else even, is just really the beautiful imagery that you can find on our site. So everything from the homepage to even our interior pages, any banner images or anything you're seeing here, these all come directly from our company subscribers' profiles. So we mentioned Mortarr is for everybody within the industry, and what you do with Mortarr is really kind of dependent on what your needs are. I'm going to make a lot of references to our company subscribers, and what I mean by that is really the companies that are showcasing their work on the site, so you can actually see what projects they've put out there and products they're showcasing. So every image in every location on our site, whether it's this homepage banner image right down to any of the other pages, they all come right from our subscribers' profiles. So they're all project images that they're showcasing. And you can always click directly through any of those images to learn more about that project and to actually connect directly with the company that's responsible for posting it. So I'll show you a little bit more about that as we go through. Right here on the homepage, what we really want to point out today, some new information or some new connections that we've made through Mortarr is through our partnership that we just launched with Material Bank. So those of you who are in the design part of this commercial industry, you may be familiar with Material Bank. Hopefully you are. So Material Bank is a site that allows designers to order samples from all sorts of amazing and beautiful manufacturers out there, and really can do it all virtually. And we have integrated with Material Bank, and where any of our common subscribers, as you're clicking into our brand tags, you can learn more about the product that you're seeing in the image, and we have a one-click over to their Material Bank page where the designers are able to actually sample or order samples of that particular product. So really excited about that. Just as a side note, as we're looking at this banner image here, and this particular image we're showcasing on the banner is from Crossville, one of our common subscribers between Mortarr and Material Bank. So just excited to showcase that. Otherwise, here on the homepage, I just want to point out our main navigation buttons at the top allow you to get to really kind of the most commonly visited portions of our site. So I'll just walk you through what each one of those are. We do also, on every page, we have a search feature. So when you go in, if you know what you're looking for, I'll give you an example. You can just type it in here. And then here on the homepage, when you type any search in, you're going to come up with some options. So you can either, maybe you just want to browse images, browse photos. And if I click to photos or view more, that'll just take me to the photo feed with the results of what I've searched for. Maybe I want to search specifically by professionals. So that would be those providing services that are related to the search that I input. So I searched hotel lobby design. So these are maybe designers, architecture firms that have indicated that they work in that sector. And then over here are brands. So think product manufacturers. So over here would be any product manufacturers whose profiles or showrooms are showing that they offer products that fit within my specific search that I've entered here.
Love it. One thing I'd like to point out here, Sadie, before you go, is that within that, some people might come to the site knowing what they're looking for, if they're looking for a specific pro or a specific brand or type of product. Others may not. And so that inspiration portion, those photos, is really the index for anything you could possibly find on the site. Any of the pros or brands that you saw in that search section would also then be able to be found while you're scrolling through those photos.
Exactly. Yep, that's exactly right. And so I'm from here, I'm going to jump over to our inspiration page. All of our company subscribers, so whether they are pros or brands that are showcasing their work, like Jules said, on the site, all of that content can really be found here on our inspiration page. So this is just really a continuous scroll of the images that they have shared and posted. And from here, you can narrow down what you're looking at. Again, you can go ahead and enter a search. Now that I'm on the inspiration page, it is already narrowed down to just photos that I'm going to be searching. I also can do search by filtering. So let's just say, keeping my hotel theme, I'm going to choose hospitality as the sector. I can specifically select one or more spaces that I want to look at. So maybe I want to look at lobbies. And then we do offer also a product type filter. So if I knew specifically what, maybe it was lighting or flooring, I can go ahead and apply those filters just to narrow down what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go ahead and clear the filters. And then from there, any image that I find on the site that I'm interested in, I can go ahead and click into it. And by clicking into the image, I learn a lot more about what I'm seeing. So here I've clicked on this and I can see that Claridge Products posted this picture, and they give a little bit of information about whether it's about the project, about the product that they're featuring. And then by clicking View Project, that allows me to go see any other images that are related to this particular project that they've posted. On the right side, you can see project contributors. They have, in this case, tagged the company that was responsible for the design in this particular project. I can click right into redesign and go to their profile in Mortarr from here. And then additionally, when I look over to the image, here is that product tag. Anywhere I see this white dot, I can click on it, and there's a product tag with additional information about the product that's featured. Now, in this case, this is Claridge has tagged their own product. Oftentimes we see designers that are tagging product that they're using. So they might be tagging different brands. We see really a wide variety of tagging other products that are used, whether they're posted by other Mortarr subscribers or even products that are by companies that are not yet featured on Mortarr. You can still find some brand tagging information, which is fabulous. From this brand tag, I can click this more product information is going to launch a link to a website, most likely right to Claridge's website with their product information. Additionally, like I said, that material bank button, I can click here. If I'm a member, a designer who uses Material Bank, and I'm a member of Material Bank, I can click into this order sample. That's going to take me right to Material Bank's site and allow me to click and order what I'm looking for, what sampling I'm looking for from Claridge. Just as a side note, if you are not a Material Bank member, this will just take you to their site where you can request membership if you're a designer who samples products. And then you'll notice there's also a download spec button. So in this instance, Claridge Products has also included a specification document that I can download directly from this tag.
A few more things on this page, Sadie, if you don't mind. Would you just walk through what that follow button and then the save and the share and the star are down at the bottom
Yep.
on this image?
Yeah, definitely. So I am currently logged into my own personal profile on Mortarr. So I am not a company subscriber. I'm really just a personal user. My profile allows me to follow companies. I'm going to go ahead and just give Claridge a follow, and I'll show you where that comes into my own profile. And then same thing with liking. I've already started this one, but I can like any images, just kind of show Claridge some love on this particular image or project. And then sharing is exactly what you'd expect. I have a couple different ways I can share it. And then saving allows me to save this image into one of my design rooms. So think of your design rooms essentially as your boards where you can save anything you find on Mortarr that you like. And then you have some functionality there, some ability there to add information for your own reference as you're recalling it, as you're going back to it. And then you also can invite other people. We call them collaborators. So you can invite other collaborators to share in any of your design rooms as well. So I will just go ahead, and I have a lot of test design rooms set up. So I'll go ahead and add this one to my design room. And then I'll show you once we go into my personal profile what that looks like.
Sadie, quickly before we move on from that, we do have a question on that Material Bank button.
Yeah.
So Jennifer's asking, will the Material Bank button show up if a brand is not currently subscribed to Material Bank?
Great question. No, it will not. So the Material Bank button is only going to show up when the particular product that is featured in that tag is on Material Bank and available for sampling. So you know, as even a further example of that, you could have a company like Crossville, I know for sure is, they're on Material Bank as well. So Crossville has a lot of beautiful products, and I'm not sure if every single product that we featured on Mortarr is on Material Bank. If they are, we've got the buttons in there, but if you happen to come across a product that doesn't have it, that would just mean it's not yet featured there, but still would have the buttons to click to get additional information and to find more information about that particular product. Good question. Really quickly, just for the sake of time, I'm going to move ahead. I want to make sure I spend some time in our design rooms. So this is our pros tab. So this is where you can find any of the companies that are featured on Mortarr. You can browse through them here. Additionally, you can filter. So if I know I'm looking for an architect, I can filter by the architects. I can even put in my location. So if I know, you know, I'm not personally located in Minneapolis, but maybe I'm going to be working on a project in Minneapolis and I want to find architects that service that area or are located in that area, I can filter down by location to find those particular architects. And from here, anywhere you see a company listing, of course, you can click into it. I'm just going to show you what that looks like. Once you visit any of our company subscribers' profiles, they all really follow the same layouts where you can find the information about that company. So each one of our companies features an about that tells you some information about that company, where they're located, their areas of expertise, or the type of products that they manufacture if they're a brand. These are projects that they've been tagged in, and these are some other companies that they have been tagged in projects with, that they've collaborated with on Mortarr. These are all links directly to those projects or those other companies. And then right here in the Let's Collaborate box is where our users are able to just connect directly with those companies. So you can go right to their website, you can access their phone number, call directly through your computer if you're able, or your device. And then Message Us will launch an email, so you can connect directly with them and type your message and connect directly with them through email, through that route. So, and then of course down here we have the links to all of their social channels as well, if you want to go directly to their social pages.
What I love about this particular, the profile page is going to look the same no matter where you are on the site for pros and brands. Which kind of makes it like the SparkNotes. I'm sure none of you used these, but SparkNotes version of all the things that you would want to know about a company, kind of in a nutshell. How to contact them, what they've worked on, all the people that they've worked with, all in one place.
Industries or the sectors that they work within is another great one.
Yep.
If you know you're working on a hospitality project, they work within hospitality. If you don't see that there, then maybe you want to search to the next, go to the next company that came up in your search. All of our companies on Mortarr feature a lot of beautiful projects, and they're all image based. So I clicked over to Project Gallery. I can browse through the projects that they have. I can click into any one of these projects to learn more about that particular project. So here, BKV Group is giving me a description of the Soo Line Building City Apartments. I can see if there's any particular companies that they've tagged. I can see them here, and then I can actually go into every image that they are showcasing from this particular project. So that allows us to just see more from each of those projects and what that company did with them. So very similarly, our brand feed really works exactly the same, and you're able to filter by maybe the type of product that you're shopping within or that you're looking for. So I know I'm looking for some lighting solutions, and maybe I want to go look at all of the different lighting manufacturers on Mortarr. I can browse that way. I can also filter that down by sector as well. So from there, Jules, I was just going to go over to my personal profile. Does that sound good to you?
Perfect.
So you can see I'm already logged in. If I am not logged in, or if I don't yet have a personal profile on Mortarr, the button to either log in or to create my profile would be located in this top right corner. And all you need to create your personal profile on Mortarr is really just your name and your email address, and of course a password. So it's a real simple process. And I mentioned before, anybody can have a personal profile on Mortarr. It's totally private and totally free. So whether or not your company showcases their work on Mortarr does not matter. Anybody can be on here. And what's great about this is, as you're going through the site and you find, say, companies that you're really interested in, maybe it's a company that you want to do a project with, or maybe you're just getting ideas and you like the work they do, or you like the images that you found in their profile. Whatever the reason is, you can follow them. And this is where they're going to show up. And these are all just direct links to these companies' profiles. So you can see I just followed Claridge from that image that we were looking at. So they're showing up here now in the top of my followed companies. And then if I follow more than what's seen here, you can see there's a view all where I can go ahead and expand that. And then the site will also deliver up the most recent images that have been added by any of the companies that you're following. So I know that Barnlight just obviously added a really cool project to Mortarr, and I can see all these pretty pictures that are in there. So I can view them here, star them. I can even click in and go look at the entire project. And then any images that I've starred along the way are, of course, going to be stored in my dashboard as well.
I love, so the dashboard, the personal profile is really your personal hub. I like to think of it similar to your social channels home feed. So whether that's LinkedIn or Instagram or Facebook that you're on, it's really customized and curated with the things that you want to see, that you've told us that you want to see by following those companies or starring those images. And so this is the first place that I always recommend people go to every time they log into Mortarr. So every morning, when you start your day, that's kind of where you're going to go to get the most current information, updated projects, all of that. And it's also where you're going to get your notifications for the site, which if you're Sadie, you leave unread forever. And if you're me, I need them cleared out every single morning. So.
Yes. Yeah, Jules mentioned my notifications. I do have a lot of them. I do a lot of testing on the site, and most of my stuff is for demonstration purposes. So yep, that's where I go and find all of my, anytime comments are added to my design rooms or new content is added, I find it there. I do have those notifications coming to my email, so that is really where I read them.
So good. We've got,
don't want to look at my phone either.
I know. Oh, no, thank you. We have a question on if you want to go into one of the design rooms, Sadie, we can actually show what this would look like.
So I just toggled over to design rooms. I'm just going to go ahead and click. I have a lot of design rooms. Actually, I'll go back real quick before the question and just show you. Design rooms, like I mentioned, these are essentially like boards. And as a personal profile, with a personal profile in Mortarr, you can have unlimited design rooms, and within those you can store an unlimited amount of photos. So I have quite a few. It starts with the ones that I own. That means I started these design rooms, and down here you can see design rooms you're in. These are other design rooms that other colleagues have invited me to that I'm a member of. So this is my list of design rooms. I just changed my view. You can toggle between a grid view or a list view, and then simply just click in to see more about a design room. Is there a question, Jules?
Awesome. Yeah. Amelia's asking can a manufacturer add a tag of their product to a photo that's not currently in their profile? So say an architectural firm adds a photo of their project and then Crossbill recognizes their tile in that project. Are they able to tag their own product?
Most certainly. So, oh, I can't show it here. So I think I can answer it without actually showing the exact details. So when you open an image, this is a rendering that Jules added. So this isn't a Mortarr image. Here we go. When you open an image on Mortarr, this isn't a design room, but if you are logged into your brand's profile, right down here in that box, or underneath the image, you're going to see a button that says tag a product. And if you click on that, it will allow you to actually go tag your own product and enter all of the information that you're seeing show up in our product tag boxes. So that is a really great question. All right, Jules, you still with me?
Sure am.
Okay, great. So here, this is just a sample design room that we created to showcase some of the ways, I'm trying to talk through this real quick. I know we're running out of time, but some of the ways that you can collaborate with other individuals on Mortarr, whether it's other people, colleagues that you work with at the same firm, whether it's customers, clients, whatever it might be, or maybe you really just want to save these ideas for your own use and you don't want to invite other people. That's certainly optional. In this case, we've created this design room. I've invited a couple of my colleagues. To invite people to the design room is really simple. It's just an email. So you simply click that plus button and invite people by email. They do need to create a personal profile in Mortarr in order to collaborate in the design room, but there's no requirement for any company profiles. And from there, you can add images that you found on Mortarr, like I showed you when we were in our photo feed. And then you can even include images not on Mortarr. So like in this example, Jules included a rendering, there's a drawing in here. Maybe you are out on the job site and you need to take a photo and add something in from there, you can, or you're out in public somewhere and you see something that is inspirational to you based on a project that you're working on. You can snap a photo of it with your phone and load it into your design room that way. We do have a mobile app that is amazing and a really fast way to get images in your design room. But even just directly through the site, wherever you have saved images from, you can add them in. When you add images to your design room from Mortarr, they do retain all of their information. So you can see the brand tag is still on here. I can still click directly in any of those links. I can see who posted it. I can get to their profile. And then Within your design room, you do have the ability to chat. So Jules and I have shared some comments, and she was even able to attach some additional files within our comments. So we can chat on a photo level. And then we do also have the ability for you to chat on a design room level. So maybe your particular comment isn't about one picture, maybe it's about the project as a whole, or something that you just want everybody to be aware of. If I close this image, you can see at the bottom, there's some conversation that happens down here. I can add a new comment. I can do an @ mention, and then Jules will get the notification that I'm specifically mentioning her. Otherwise, any comments that are added, you're going to receive a notification that there's a new comment within that image or within that design room.
So good. One other thing I love to point out within this, Sadie, is the presentation mode, which people have used internally for their team, for presentations, for externally for clients. Some of our companies have even used this for bids or pitches to their potential clients. And as you can see, you can present both with the comments on the side or without. And we saw a lot of success with this with our most recent student initiative, Mortarr in the Classroom, and where teachers and students and the panelists were all able to interact within those and share their projects with the class via presentation mode, and then also receive feedback all in one place. And so we've seen this kind of morph into a project management tool for a lot of companies, as well as that presentation tool, which is just so fun to see.
Very true. Yeah, and there's really design rooms, you're not limited to how you can use them. I mentioned you don't have to have collaborators on your design room. So maybe you're just trying to organize your thoughts or organize the things that you care about that you found on the site. You can do it any way that works for you. We have a lot of our sales reps who use Mortarr on their company's behalf. They really like the design rooms. They allow them to organize any images that maybe are in a different format than how their company is displaying their projects within their company profile. So maybe that sales rep just wants to show a few specific products or projects, or maybe there are older projects that they're sharing, for example, and the company's no longer showcasing them on their site. So they can go ahead and do that, and then invite their prospect to the design room and show them what they need to. And then, when they're done with that particular case, they can remove that prospect, and you can always add a new one. So you can reuse it and kind of recycle these if you need to. So yeah, there's really just a lot of different ways that you might use design rooms. Jules, any other thoughts? I know we're beyond our time, so apologize to everybody for going long, and thank you for sticking with us if you've been able to.
There's no questions currently, but if you have any, please feel free to add those to the chat or the Q&A, and we will try and touch on those. I guess there's just two things that I'd love to talk about. Both the forum tab up at the top there is our beautifully designed basically press space or article space that we're sharing great stories about Mortarr subscribers and the design industry. And you can subscribe to that to have that delivered right to your email address. You can also see those features and stay in touch with those via our social channels. So this is my shameless plug. Come hang out with us there. We're always uploading new projects, new profiles, telling you what's new and fresh on the site. And so that's a great way to stay in touch with what's happening on Mortarr.
Yep, agree. Great. And yeah, just a reminder that we just want to make sure everybody remembers Mortarr's here. It's available. It's free. When you find something out there, there's the company that's posted it, connect with them through that contact us box within their profile. Let them know you found them on Mortarr, whatever, if you're following them on social or going directly to their website. But yeah, we just really encourage you to click around, find something that you like, and try to learn more about that project, and yeah, enjoy what you find out there.
Absolutely. We do have there's a great question from Mark here, Sadie. It says, can you save a design room outside of Mortarr, for example, on Dropbox?
Not at this time. The ability to export fully export it is coming, so it's not yet there, but that is definitely something that is slated for a future enhancement, as a future enhancement. So
Awesome, thank you.
mhm. Great. Any other questions, Jules, before we end?
Nothing that has come in. You can always reach out to us again via social or those emails that were at the beginning. We are here to help.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for your time, and look forward to hearing from us with future webinar topics that will be adding to our content in this Q2 that we're approaching here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Great.
Have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.